Welcome to our webinar, Defending Against a New Wave of Tsunami DDoS Attacks. My name is Rebecca Sommer. I'm a product marketing manager for network security at Check Point, and I'm excited to introduce our distinguished experts who will be discussing the new trends of DDoS threat ecosystem and how we can effectively defend against them. Ron Mayron is the Senior Director of Cyber Threat Intelligence, Partner Marketing, and Analyst Strategy at Radware, and he will be introducing the current cyber threat environment. And Aviv Abramovich is the Head of Security Services Product Management at Check Point. He will explain how Check Point's Quantum DDoS Protector, powered by Radware, can provide comprehensive protection and fast response to Tsunami DDoS attacks. And Ron, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Rebecca, and great to be here with you. Okay, let's look first at the past 3 years. In cyber world, 3 years are like a generation. So 2021, we had the COVID lockdowns and everything was accelerated. The digital transformation was accelerated. Everyone was working from home, but also the migration to the cloud was accelerated. In 2022, we have seen the start of the invasion of Russia to Ukraine, which increased the activity of hacktivists. And we have seen for the first time, cyber war between two nations. And then in 2023, we have found out that conflicts and tensions are creating a reason for attacks. Just one of the recent cases we have seen was the Eurovision Song Contest, which was targeted by pro-Russian hacktivists. Why? Because a month ago, 1 month before the song contest, Sweden, which was hosting the song contest, has joined NATO. So let's start. February 22nd, 2022, Russia invades Ukraine, and we see ignition of cyber war era. On the one hand, we see multiple pro-Russian hacktivist groups. The most famous two groups are Killnet and No-Name 057. Killnet is a well-established organization led by a person who reflects to himself as Kill Milk. No-Name is a conglomerate or a democratization of DDoS attacks where all the participants are installing themselves DDoS attack tools, and they are launching the attacks from their own computers. Everything is controlled by the No-Name major servers. There are other threat actors like Bloodnet, Killnet, Zarya, as you can see here, which specializes in spyware. They are associated with the Russian FCB. If you're not familiar with the Russian FCB, this is the new name of the Russian KGB. And of course, like the third law of Newton, for every action, expect an opposite action. The Ukrainians have established the IT army of Ukraine, which is based on over 500,000 volunteers, which are participating and taking actions on behalf of Ukraine, according to the instructions of the IT army, and attack targets in Russia. But what we have found out is that if initially the attacks were limited to Russia and Ukraine, it got or exceeded and moved to other victims, like Canadian Prime Minister, who was supporting verbally, strongly Ukraine during the war. His website is being attacked. France, as you can read here in the Telegram message, have provided anti-missile systems to Ukraine. Immediately, France is under attack. Now, you would expect hacktivists to attack government agencies, but you can see that the largest bank in France is being attacked, Crédit Agricole. Why? Because it's a symbol. It is associated with France, and that's why No-Name in this case decided to shut down Crédit Agricole operations. Orange in Spain is being targeted for the same reason, because Spain is supporting Ukraine, and Amazon, the global site, was also being down. Again, nothing to do with Amazon supporting anyone in this conflict, only because Amazon is a well-established US brand. Following that was 2022. We have seen in 2023 the rise of the religious threat actors. You can see here few of them, starting from Ganosec team from Indonesia, Team Herox from Malaysia, Indian Cyber Army, Anonymous Sudan, the most famous group today, Team Insane Bangladesh, Dragon Force from Malaysia, Team R70 from Yemen. And as example, you can see here in Australia, a fashion design brand has used the name Allah with me in Arabic, which is a text taken from the Quran, and used it on in a fashion show. In this case, look at it. All airports in Australia have been shut down for 1 day following that fashion show. Then you can see also that Anonymous Sudan, for example, which is a religious threat actor, they found out that their tools are so impactful that they decided to monetize them. And they started attacking victims like Time Magazine. You can see here attack for 3 hours, Target chain in the United States, Yahoo Mail, which was shut down, and so on, only as a power proof to show that they can shut any business down. And then they offer the services for hire. 1 day of attacks is $100. 1 week of DDoS network attacks is offered for $600, and so on. If you think about it in a B2B environment, $600 for 1 week of attacks, it's not that expensive. Now we can look at the top threat actors that we have seen in the past year. And this is also available through the report that we have published. So you see the first or the most prominent threat actor is no name 057, which is pro-Russian. It is closely followed by Anonymous Sudan, Team Insane Pakistan, Mysterious Team Bangladesh, 3 religious threat actors. And then we are back to Passion Botnet, which is part of Killnet. It's a Russian, pro-Russian group. Cyber Army of Russia, it's quite clear. Bloodnet, also part of the Killnet cluster, Killnet reserves, and so on. So you can see that there is a clear mix between pro-Russian and religious threat actors that impact today and attack, and you can find attacks today in every country in the Western world, in Australia, in North America. Next, I would like, why it doesn't work? Okay, you can see also the most attacked industries. When we talk about hacktivism and the new hacktivist, we would expect mainly government agencies to be under attacks and utilities. What you can see here, financial service sector is the top attacked sector, then technology, all the software as a service companies, for example, healthcare. Why would healthcare be attacked? Because it's an easy target. And only then we see government and others. Also, you can see here on the other graph where the attack growth were growing faster than others, like transportations, utilities, energy. So all sectors are being targeted systematically. Now, all these attackers, they are quite successful in their attacks. And we see many organizations, businesses, utilities down. Why? Because they use new techniques. In addition to the standard or the well-known network attacks, they are using new type of application level attacks. We call them Web DDoS Tsunami attacks. And they are highly disruptive and very hard to mitigate. Why? First of all, they are high in volume. And when we talk in volume, in application DDoS attacks, we don't talk about gigabits, we talk about requests per second. So think about an attacker which uses a botnet, and they now start approaching your website, downloading the homepage, or making an inquiry into your website. But the botnet is programmed to do exactly or behave like a normal user, which would access the homepage, go to another page, fill in a form, and so on. Now, all the transactions are encrypted, which means that you need to decrypt all the traffic, or in other words, it means that all network and application security tools are remain ineffective because traffic is encrypted. Now, it looks like legitimate request, and the attackers are using multiple evasion techniques like randomizing their IP addresses. They are using IP spoofing and so on. So every new transaction arrives from a new IP address. Okay, there are many tools which are using source-based blocking. They become ineffective. Now, to understand why the standard solutions are ineffective, well, if you've got DDoS protection from your service provider, it's a network solution, okay? But these are application level floods. So network solutions, they don't inspect layer 7 traffic, especially if it's encrypted. Now, if you've got a web application firewall, the WAF would be looking for application vulnerabilities, for exploits, but it cannot detect if someone is using the application in the way it was designed to be used, because there is no rule that is being broken here. Rate limit, you can use it, but what would happen with rate limit? You will rate limit your business because you are blocking everything above a threshold, including legitimate traffic. If you are using rate limit per source, it will block nothing because the attacks are very distributed. Okay? And that's why you need a new solution, which is offered by Checkpoint. Now, one slide I wanted to show you what does an attack look like from the CISO perspective, and you can see it here. I will start from the right side. Network, it starts with network attacks, multiple vectors, 200 gigabits per second. This was the case of an EMEA-based government agency that we protected. Now, 200 gigabits per second, no organization is processing so much traffic. Look at how many packets. Now, attack length, it's 17 hours. Think about a CISO that arrives at 8 a.m. to the office or 9 a.m. The attack starts within an hour. What does their day looks like? They will not go home after 9 hours, okay, when the attack is still ongoing. They don't know when it's going to stop. Look at how many requests per second they have, 1.6 million requests per second, where normal systems or typical systems can process several hundreds, maybe several thousands of requests per second, but no one can process so many requests per second, millions of requests per second, which overwhelm every system today. And that's why we call it a tsunami. So how to stay ahead with Checkpoint Protector series? So first, I would like to remind you that Checkpoint is offering DDoS protection, SSL, web application firewall, bot and API through the Quantum and CloudGuard product offering. So you can either have them on-prem or in the cloud. We are completely flexible with the offering so we can meet the requirements of the customer. What we have added is the ability to defend against this new type of attack, the web DDoS attack. So the ability that we added must be behavioral based. We use artificial intelligence in order to detect the unique pattern of the attacks, although the attackers are using multiple evasion techniques. We provide protection against all types of layer 7 DDoS attacks, including zero-day attacks. And as of today, we are the only vendor that has the ability to defend against these attacks. All other solutions will rate limit, bandwidth management, whatever, but they cannot even detect the attacks. And here is an example of another government agency that was being or under attack for 2 hours. I will skip the part of how we defend against the network attack, and we'll go directly to the application attacks, the 738,000 requests per second. And we are generating within seconds a unique signature. Here I have increased the size. So you can see that we are using multiple layer 7 parameters with an end operation in order to narrow down the signature as much as possible. So we can accurately block the attack, and the attack only without blocking legitimate user traffic. And most important here, it's completely automated using AI. Within seconds, the system responds to the attack, detects, and starts mitigating the attack. And when your customer asks you about what does the industry say about this Checkpoint DDoS Protector solution, every industry analyst or report that you will go, you will find, okay, it's Radware, Checkpoint powered by Radware. You will find that the Radware DDoS mitigation technology is always listed as the leader in every report that your customer can find, or you can hand them the reports or this slide that you can see here. With this, I would like to move to Aviv, please.
Thank you, Ron, and thanks everybody for joining us. So I think, as Ron mentioned, we and many of you are aware, we are already proposing our DDoS Protector series, which is powered by Radware. But now we thought together with Radware, what can we do in order to make a better product or better together product? Not just have another offering on our catalog, but use really the power of Checkpoint and Radware together to defend against these tsunami attacks that we're seeing more and more, and they are becoming more aggressive and more dangerous and more disruptive. So the way we integrated through a new solution from Checkpoint called Infinity Playblocks. But before we go into the specific integration and how we've done it with specifically to DDoS, let me explain a little bit about our Infinity Playblocks solution. It was launched late last year, and it is available to all of our Checkpoint Quantum customers, or our Infinity customers, or our Harmony and CloudGuard customers. And what this platform really allows you to do, it allows you to really integrate with different systems and different third-party tools in your environment. And when you integrate with those tools in your environment, you can then use this platform to automatically respond to different security events, different operational events that are happening in your environment. For example, if you see a scan from an attacker, you can then block this scan for a certain amount of time. Or if you see some operational issue with the Checkpoint product, you can open a notification to a ServiceNow or to Jira and to those types of platforms. So really, Infinity Playblocks is really for us, I will call it an integration hub, because you can take on one side various different products, and on the other side have automatic actions in a very simple way, no programming or scripting required. It's all done through APIs we prepared, and use all the different connectors that we have in the system to create an automatic response. For example, as I mentioned before, one of the response could be to block an IP address or to block an attacker using one of Checkpoint's firewalls. But it can also be to open a ticket in Jira or in ServiceNow, or to send your team a message through Slack or Teams, or whatever platform you prefer for your communication. So keep that in mind, and because this is a very powerful system where we already have many playbooks and many automations already ready for you to use even today. But this is actually a great day, because today we also have available a new automation, a new interaction, specifically for our DDoS protection. And one of the things that this really brings you now, it brings you a unified visibility capability. So in one location, you are able to see all of your network security incidents and activity. including those coming from all the various checkpoint products, as well as the DDoS protector family. It's all now aggregated into one location we call the Infinity Events view. And once everything is there in that location, it allows us to then build on top of it, build our security operations center, build a SOC team, an XDR, and our Infinity Playblocks, which automatically create a response. And you can get a quicker response done this way. So once you realize there is an attacker, and as a security administrator, what you can do is you can now block this attacker on everything where you have checkpoint, and it doesn't only have to do not just when you have a DDoS protector in front of maybe your data center. You can actually block this attacker anywhere on your network where you see it, when you have a checkpoint gateway to block it. So let's take a closer look at how this would look. Here is an attack we've seen coming from DDoS protector, and what you can actually see here, you can see this in the checkpoint very own Infinity event system. So besides the DDoS here and the attacks on the DDoS, you can actually see all other attacks coming from the cloud or from the checkpoint network or endpoint or Harmony security products, and it's all located in one place. So as your SOC team or as you're doing the research, you'll be able to see all of these different attacks in one location. You can quickly search, you can filter all of those different attacks, and you can also follow, when it comes specifically to DDoS, you can really follow the stage of the attack as it's unfolding. You can see when the attack is starting, when the attack is continuing, and when it is blocked. So all of this data is now fully integrated and available for you. So that's a great integration, and already I think bring a lot of good value for you, because you have all your security incidents aggregated in one place. And using the Playblocks, we now introduce this new block DDoS attack detected by DDoS protector. This is actually the way it appears under the Playblocks system. The Playblocks system, by the way, is available as a cloud service from Checkpoint. It is a SaaS service. You can register, you can connect to it, and you can then use it. So once we see an attack, every time we see an attack triggered or highlighted by the DDoS protector, this playbook, what we'll actually do is we'll go and block this attack in any checkpoint gateway that you chose to integrate it with. So imagine that the DDoS protector is protecting your most precious data center. However, you might have other data centers, you might have branch offices, you might have other locations where, if you know a certain IP is attacking you right now, you would want to block this IP anywhere on your network, at least for the duration of the attack. And this is I think, a very, very powerful tool, because suddenly it's not just where you have the DDoS that you are able to protect. You're actually able to protect and prevent attackers from doing this across your network. I can share with you that in one incident in the recent years we've seen an attacker launched a DDoS attack on a network. In this case, it was a very similar case to what Ron presented, where it was related to an hacktivism for political reasons. And what they actually, they were targeting a newspaper that published an article that some groups did not like. What they've actually done, they were actually trying to change and deface the site, but the news site. But the way they did it is, first they launched the DDoS attack. That was the very first thing that they've done. Why they've launched the DDoS attack? Because it's very disruptive. It stops legitimate users, as Ron said, from accessing the network. But what happened is, while they were doing this, and all the security team immediately rushed to defend, because it's all hands on deck type of an incident, and we are being attacked right now, so let's defend this. And that's where all the focus of the security team was. And while this was actually a diversion, because the attacker was actually trying to divert the attention of the security team. And while they were doing that, they were actually trying to use a backdoor to get into their content system to really change their content. Luckily for that particular customer, they have failed to do this, and they failed to actually deface the site, because we were able to create all this interaction between the different types of networks and different types of security controls that we have between the DDoS protector by Radware and the checkpoint security gateways. The integration actually to do that is very, very simple. It only takes really 3 quick, easy steps. The first step that you do is you take your smart one and connect it to your checkpoint management, and you connect it to our cloud services. It's a really simple click of a button. Once you have that, then you can take your DDoS protector that you already have in your environment, and you can point that DDoS protector to send its logs to that management. Once this is done, then the last thing you have to do, or the last step, is go and enable that Playblocks playbook that I've shown you. And through this, you can create a really simple way, no programming needed, and it's automatic reaction across your network, and you're leveraging the power of both the DDoS protector and the checkpoint security gateway in a simple one system. And I think overall, this already proved to be very valuable and very powerful for our customers, and I hope it will be powerful for you. So to summarize our talk here, we've seen and Ron's great explanation about the mega DDoS tsunami attacks that are on the rise. What we can also see that you can be a victim for a DDoS attack, even if you're not the real target, even if you're just a casual or random target, because some of the examples were quite astonishing. That, for example, someone in Australia offended a political group, and everybody in Australia, or several organizations in Australia, got the attack just because someone else in Australia was attacked. So as you can see you can be a victim if you're just in the wrong country or in the wrong industry, and somebody decides that your industry is offended their group, you'll be liable for an attack. And as I also explained, you might be or might encounter an attack, but it's just a diversion for something else that is actually going on. It's just step one of another target where they're trying to penetrate your networks through a different way. Now, what we have now, what we announced, is a really unique integration where you can really enjoy the power of the platform of Checkpoint for both the DDoS protector and the Infinity platform in one place, one location, through a simple click on our website. And through this, you can now have a really dynamic protection. Once it's being detected on the DDoS protector you have in the data center, this attack or the mitigation of the attack, or this specific attacker, even if they are not even attacking you in DDoS in another location, will actually take place, and you can enjoy and have the real power of the Checkpoint Infinity platform. And with that, I thank you all for your time. And Rebecca, let's move back to you and see if we have any questions from the audience.
Thanks so much for such an enlightening webinar. So now we have a few questions. So I think the first one is Ron. If you, of course, can chip in if he has anything to say as well. When speaking with customers, they're claiming that their ISP protects them from DDoS attacks. Why would they be interested in the Checkpoint offering?
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Yes, many customers or many organizations, they've got the DDoS protection from their service provider. But the service provider would offer them a standard or a basic network DDoS attack protection. But think about it, if it's an application attack, the service provider, they don't look into the application traffic, okay? Certainly they cannot inspect encrypted traffic, which means that all the attack, the service provider who is supposed to defend against DDoS attacks, it will simply forward all the attack traffic directly to the organization, which will be overwhelmed by this huge amount of traffic. So the service provider can provide some basic protection against the basic and most standard network attacks. But today in the world, cyber world, with highly sophisticated multi-vector attacks, service providers are incapable of even detecting these traffic and these attacks.
Oh, thank you. The next question is, someone asks, we have on-prem DDoS protection solutions protecting our data center. Are we protected against the attacks you describe?
If you have got the on-prem Checkpoint DDoS protector, then absolutely you are protected. The motivation for you to add also cloud mitigation and move into a hybrid deployment is then when the amount of traffic is too high for your data center to process, and then your internet links will be congested and saturated by the attack traffic. And that's why you want to move the mitigation from your own organization to a remote site to the cloud. So a service provider, Checkpoint Radware, will be protecting the organization and be blocking the traffic before it gets to your premises.
Understood. And I think we have time for one last question. Someone wants to know if there's any special requirements for Checkpoint customers to use this new integration. Aviv?
Yes, so there are really no special requirements for our customers to use this integration. It's available to all customers with our products that are already shipping. So the sharing between the on-prem management and the cloud, this is something that's already available today to all customers. It's required our latest software release, which we called R81.20. So if you are using that, that's already allows you to leverage a cloud services and increase capabilities of your on-prem management with some cloud services. By the way, not just specific to what I've shown you, there are other tools like XDR and managed detection and response that you can use through these cloud services. So this is really a powerful platform for us. And on the DDoS protector, the latest protector, Series Protector X, is all you need really, and that's something that you can start using and connecting. And use it very, very simply. Other than that, it's just a few easy setups through our cloud interface.
Great. Thank you so much, both of you. That concludes our webinar. We hope you enjoyed, and please feel free to reach out. There will be links posted on this Bright Talk webinar. Thank you both, and we want to also thank Checkmates, our partnership community, for sponsoring this event.
Thank you.